Go!
Alright, welcome to the Quotes and Chokes podcast. I'm Nick Angeloni.
I'm Arut Pagosian. And I'm Angelo Rivera.
Today, no guests. We're all just gonna sit down. I had a fight over the weekend. Arut has a fight coming up. I thought we'd bring Angelo from behind the camera and then just kind of go over a few things. And then we can also talk about fights over the weekend,
Really good fights.
Yeah.
I only saw the co-main event, the main event, Shevchenko, and
We had the whole card playing and we didn't really watch any of it.
No, not really.
I was really involved with my wings.
Oh, really? You didn't watch that?
No. Like until the co-main event.
Okay.
Like they were playing and I was just like glancing, but I was more just like.
I wanted to see Matt Lopez's fight, but I missed that.
How did he do?
I heard it was close, and then he just, in the end, the other guy almost choked him and just stole the fight.
Oh yeah.
We overtook the fight.
Just from choking him? Almost choking him?
No, like
last round like that.
I think it was a pace thing,
Oh, okay.
The other guy just kept the same pace, and Matt failed a little bit.
Yeah, got a little tired. Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of getting tired, we start with my fight.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about yours.
And then we'll talk about how tired I'm gonna get in my fight.
What is that?
That's the answering.
Yeah. So
congratulations, King of the Cage, 160-pound champion. Soak that in. Good job. There you go. Yeah.
So, how should we do this? Should I just recap or you want to ask me questions? Or like, usually,
okay.
We're asking other people questions.
Right. So, let's start with round one. Actually, but before round one, like, how did you feel going in there? Backstage, like, what was going through your mind?
A number of things, really, like, so we work with our sports psychology stuff, and we talk about with Joe. We talk about radical acceptance, right? And that's we've done that on a previous podcast episode, talking about stuff like that.
That's what I think David Goggins preaches.
Yeah.
Radical acceptance.
Just do it.
Yeah. I think that's
in a different way.
In a way different way.
Yeah. It's more like just radically accept everything that sucks.
Yeah. So explain what you mean by radical acceptance.
Just like not being attached to the outcome, right? Like this guy, I believe like when someone says like, I know I'm gonna win this fight, it's like, well, you're lying to yourself because you don't. And if you did, you wouldn't need to compete.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if it was a fact, right? Like I believe it. 100% believe, you know what I mean?
Exactly, there's a difference.
Yeah, but it's not a mathematical fact, you know what I mean?
There's always variables.
Right, yeah, and somebody could scream your name in the corner and you look away and go, what? And then get knocked out, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't happen, but you know what I'm saying? Like, anything can happen, so...
It's a fight, that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
It's a fight, anything can go down, but you have to believe to see. There's no other way.
Right, yeah. So, I go in and I
if you
believe...
want to win at least.
Right, yeah. I believe I have the ability to win, but I accept whatever outcome is coming, and I'm more so focused on just having my best performance, right? Like, and, I believe that everything is gonna, in the long run, work out for the good. So, whatever's coming tonight, and that's what's coming tonight, and I'm happy with it, and I'm happy to be there, and I'm just enjoying, like, being able to go out and do what I do, Yeah. So...
I was gonna add to it that, like, say that day you're feeling 60%, that's why I was asking, like, how did you feel going in? Mm-hmm. Then you accept, okay, I'm gonna give 100% of my 60%.
Yeah.
Like, this is what it is. I'm just gonna go till I can't go no more.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it's easy to get into your own head in that situation. You're in the back waiting to go up. And
yeah, you could sit there and be like, what if this happens? What if this happens? And the reason I don't believe in like, what I would say is lying to yourself and you say, I know I'm going to win, is because what happens when you lose? Mm-hmm. Then the next time you're trying to say that to yourself, you're like, that's not really true. You know what I mean? So, I lost my train of thought.
I was asking you how you feeling.
Yeah. So physically or mentally?
Physically and mentally.
Physically, I felt fine. I felt great. I was in really good shape. My weight cut was super fucking easy because it was at 160 instead of 155. And then, and then mentally, I felt great too. I will say this. So this is what I found that I need to correct in my sports psychology. I had that focus on that radical acceptance. need to make some adjustments because I felt that I didn't. There were times where maybe I lacked a little bit of like I'm not gonna say desire because I definitely desired it, but almost like motivation in a way that it took me a couple rounds to go like fuck it, like get pissed off and go and get
Channel
it. You know what I mean?
your cycle.
Yeah, right.
Maybe you were like too calm leading up to the fight, or was it you just have to kind of get warmed up?
I don't know. I don't think I was too calm. I had a good amount of
Too
nerves.
zen?
Yeah. You know.
You didn't have enough animosity, maybe?
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, channel your inner cycle.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard to say. You know, I need to because I'm not an expert in this, so I need to go sit down with with Joe and tell him my experience and make some corrections. Because that sports psychology is a practiced and learned skill, like just as much as
100%,
the physical side.
100%.
So you go in and you make some mistakes, and then you go in and you're better mentally the next time.
All I know is I've seen Happy Gilmore and like getting in your own head. He'd get in his head and he'd be like, "Don't talk to my mama." And
Oh, that's not how
maybe you
talk
can
about
think of the same thing.
They're about Waterboy.
Waterboy, that's the guy's like, "What?"
I love my mama very much. Now you know that. So, anyways, yeah. So I went out there. First round went very well. What's funny, dude? In almost all my fights, I walk out there and I get cracked first shot, and I go ow, and then
Thank you for waking me up.
every time, like the very first punch that this guy throws, it lands, and then I'm just like, oh shit, all right, make some adjustments. Because I think when I go into my fight, I'm very focused on where I am mentally, and like because that's where I've made the most improvements in my last few fights. But instead of maybe I need to think a little bit more about what I actually need to do physically, part of me like is trying to like, all right, I'm not going to think about what I need to do because I want to let it flow. But I think maybe just stay focused on like actually being aware of what's physically going on instead of just like minding my mental state. So
being more present.
Yeah. So I got out there, got cracked real hard. The room like flashed white. My mouthpiece spun around in my mouth, like went backwards inside.
For real?
Yeah, because I use a crappy like $6 mouthpiece. So he hit me. And
how long into the fight did this happen?
2 seconds.
You've accepted
First
this.
shot.
You've accepted this as your reality.
No.
He's like, I know I'm gonna get hit. Might as well make it really.
I was surprised at how fast he was. He didn't look as fast on film.
Tape? Yeah.
So on tape, yeah. But it was like a no setup. Like he just threw an overhand right. And like I was like, what? Like you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to jab first, and like what I mean. Like wow. So I threw my mouthpiece out, but I don't think he realized that he hurt me because he cracked me and then he backed off and started circling. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. He gave me some time to fix my mouthpiece.
Why would he do that?
He didn't know. I don't think I showed it very much. I don't know. I haven't seen the
How
tape.
did you move the mouthpiece without him realizing? Or just like quick like?
Oh, he knew I adjusted my mouthpiece for sure, but I don't think he knew that I was like hurt because like the room, like my vision flashed white. I don't think that I stumbled, but he hit me in the temple, so it wasn't necessarily like my consciousness wavered, but like I didn't see for a second.
Your balance was good.
My balance was good, I think. I got to see it, but it felt like it was good. I just couldn't see for a second. And then until I fixed my mouthpiece, and like, okay, left hand up, and then went to work.
That was probably his best shot.
It was his best shot. I mean, he hit me with that overhand a solid like 10 times, but the rest of them were like, the ear, the neck, top of the head. As I made that adjustment.
So you
to
took his best shot, first 2 seconds. That's his money shot.
Yeah,
and you took it
that's
the
his
first
thing.
2 seconds of the fight, and that had to fuck with his head a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it probably did. It probably did.
It's like that Gennady Golovkin effect, where you like take a shot and just like smile at the guy and keep on coming forward.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who's been used to like hurting people with it. So
Yeah. He's never lost, and I think that was
undefeated guy. It's like, oh shit, first 2 seconds, adversity.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What's going on?
I think that was my edge going in the fight, is that I've, I'm undefeated in my professional career, but I've fought tougher guys than he has, and so I know. I faced more adversity than he has, So, but honestly, like credit to him, like he. So basically, what happened is I came out first round, and that happened. And then I threw some strikes, just setting them up. Got the takedown relatively easy in the beginning, and then I dominated the first round. And then second round was very close. So he also like overcame that adversity too. That's why both of us, I think, came out with some like great respect for each other. We've talked afterwards and stuff. So because
you can't
usually
not
if
have
you've
respect for somebody you've had a 5-1.
Exactly.
Very true. Yeah. Very true. So second round came out. I think I took him down again. I think he was frustrated a little bit.
So the first round it went real good for you after that?
Yeah. Other than that one moment, I dominated the first round.
Okay.
I think it was the first. I had a rear naked choke. I was having problems with my gloves, man. They were getting something about the tape or something like. It's hard to get a full rear naked choke with gloves on because your glove that's in the crook of your arm gets in the way.
I know you told me the wrists were too.
Well, but also like.
Of it?
Yeah, so I'm trying to do the rear naked choke, like getting the hand behind the head, and then I couldn't get it. So as he peels it off, you slide, you slide to the palm to palm grip, and I was getting stuck at the wrists. Like my tape was sticking to each other, and so I couldn't get my hands together. And I was trying to one arm choke him, and I was close. Like there was a few times where he was like, I could hear him go, like gurgling and stuff. But he was a tough motherfucker, so he stuck that out. And then second round came out, was very close. I took him down in the beginning. I won probably the first 3 minutes, and he won. Well, again, I haven't seen it, so what I remember is I won the beginning, and I think he got a stand up eventually, and he won the end of the round too. So I was like, I don't know, my hometown guy, it's his hometown, so we'll see. Third and fourth round, he came out and just fucked me up. Dude, my arms. So again.
You were exhausted, or what? Were you exhausted?
After round one, I was dead, man. So like I had. My cardio was great going into this fight, like in practice, and I ended up after the fight. I think I made 2 mistakes.
And this is a reality that people need to understand about fighting. Your cardio could be great in practice, but you're dominating, and then for some reason you go too ham in the first round of the fight, and then your energy levels.
Right, yeah.
And you gotta dig deep. You gotta talk to Jesus. Whatever you gotta do, you gotta find it in you.
Yeah. And I was.
I swear I'll go to church.
So
tell me.
You gotta hang on to something like you can latch on to, like a little moment, like just to get a little bit, and it's like from moment to moment.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And see, this is where like it kind of came in, where it's like that radical acceptance thing. I need to make adjustments because it was like second round was after the second round, going into the third. Like I was still in my head saying like, okay, like whatever happens, you know what I mean? But I needed to be like, I'm gonna go fucking get this, you know what I mean? Like think in that moment. It was still like just whatever happens, I'm just flowing, I'm doing my thing, and I was so tired. I caught on to what he was doing, and he was very quick. And my arms were dead. Like he would go liver over, right? Like he did it a few times, and I was like, all right. He's gonna go liver. I didn't actually think this, but that's I do this all the time. When guys go liver over, it's a very common thing. So I blocked the liver, moved my head off to the outside of his over, and I throw my own down the side, pop, pop, And so I knew he was doing it. I was like, all right, this is my thing. I'm gonna hit this counter. And I would block that liver, and I'm like, all right, here comes my ow. It was just, I was just not moving, man. My arms were like 100 pounds. Even my calves felt like they were heavy, Yeah, and.
Do you think it was maybe grappling exchanges that tired out your arm, or was it just?
I think it was a combination of two things. So one, I didn't realize that I had sick, like a virus in my body, and I think that I was fighting it off already, and it pulled some energy away from me. The biggest challenge to overcome was his striking. So in camp, I was doing mostly striking because I wanted that to be the sharpest.
Yeah.
Thinking like I'm not too worried about the grappling, you know. And I think that what I didn't think through is that when it came to the fight, which ended up being mostly grappling, I didn't. You know, it's two different energy systems. You know, like cardio for striking is mostly lungs. You know, and like cardio for grappling is mostly muscles. Like you don't get like huffing and puffing from grappling. It's mostly you're just like pumped and your arms can't move. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what happened is that I went out there and grappled my ass off for 5 minutes, and then afterwards my forearms were just like I could barely clinch my fist to make a firm fist. You know?
Oh, you were saying you defend.
I just couldn't move, man. Like I would go and defend, and I would go to throw, and it would just happen so slow. You know? And it was because of that, and also because of his speed. You know what I mean? So like it was a combination of both. You know? And so.
So third and fourth round kicked your ass.
Yeah, third and fourth round, like I lost. He cracked me a couple times, but then also I wasn't getting him down. Like I was getting down, but like it would just like kind of touch his butt to the canvas, and then he would
pop up.
Yeah. And then fifth round.
Yeah, going into that fifth round, you go back to still what's going through your mind.
That's when my mindset shifted. You know, it was like I didn't consciously, make a mindset shift. My corners were yelling at me, and for whatever reason, instead of just going, I knew I had to go get that round. I was like, it's round 2, maybe. I think I won, maybe. So it's 2 rounds to 2. So I just went out there. I was dead. I had nothing, and it was like that. That Customato saying, like a true professional is someone who does what needs to be done regardless of how it feels, And I just thought, like, I don't have the energy to keep my hands up, but I'm just gonna hold them up, you know what I mean? And like, set up my strikes, and actually in the fifth, I think I landed a straight right a couple times. I landed a hard like kick to the gut, and I just went out there and just went, I'm getting this, like, fuck it, I'm dying out here, you know what I mean? And
okay, so you became willing to die, man.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think like I said, nothing consciously went through my head. My mind shifted. I just wanted it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Now, do you think that was there something that your corner said to like kind of get in your head?
That's part of it. Yeah, that's part of it. They were yelling at me. I could hear, yelling at me. Usually I don't like when I hear corners.
Eddie was there too, right?
Eddie Lopez was there. Yeah. And they were all yelling at me, and usually. What I don't like when I hear like corners, like I like calm advice, but what was needed in that moment was not calm advice.
Yeah.
Like, I needed someone to fucking scream at me, and they all did. Like, go out there and take his ass down and submit this motherfucker. That was the first time I ever heard that particular coach, John Munoz. First time I ever heard him say motherfucker.
That was the motivation.
Yeah. And so I was like, like I'm just gonna go fucking get this thing. Like I don't care how I feel, And fifth round was probably my best round.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I smashed
you
that round.
finished strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's probably super hard, right? Going into the fifth round, your arm is retired. You just, feel like you've lost the last couple rounds, and you have to go in there. And
so you can't, a little bit from the coaches, a little bit from inside you, but you can't really explain where the strength came from.
Yeah, I credit God to these things, for these things, So I think that's what I believe. You know what I mean? But that also, in kind of a way, as far as coming in from inside me, is like, for me, that's one of the same, right? Because I think that whatever gifts I did have, they were, they're God given, So like, I think like that's one of the same. It came from inside me, and you know what I mean. Like, I just,
You connected with God at that moment.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's tight. That's tight as fuck, though.
That's about as powerful as it can get.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I'm happy and I'm upset with it. I'm happy that I now
we talked about this.
Yeah. I was faced with like extreme adversity, and in the one round that it counted, I was able.
When it counted the most, you overcame.
Right. Yeah. And I'm also not happy with. I need to make a lot of adjustments with. Like the mindset that I was saying, and then also, just need to make some technical striking.
That's good. I feel like you should make the adjustments, but I think it does you no use to be.
I'm not dwelling on. Yeah, for sure. I'm not going like, oh.
Soak that moment in that you want. Though.
Yeah.
That because I think because that's really incredible moment right there. I can't imagine. I mean, I can imagine, and it fucking hurts to imagine, to do that after losing 2 rounds, 3, 4, and then come back like that. That takes special guts. So you already know that you're at that level. Don't ever forget that. You know, like that's a different caliber of people that could pull that out. When you couldn't even keep your arm, could barely keep your arms up the rounds before, and you pulled that out. You tapped into that energy. You calling it God. Some people call it like hidden potential, whatever. You know, you've tapped into it once, so you have the doorway to it. You can do it again. Soak that in.
I agree. You know, like we talked about with Joe, it's not it's not like, you know, there were things that I didn't do right, and it's not like, man, like, you know, why didn't I do that? It's like, okay, I didn't do that right.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm gonna do better. You know what I mean? Like make adjustments, and that's not how I do it. You know?
I do like that too.
So let's talk about your fight. You got a fight coming up.
I got a fight too. I've been preparing for this fight since Santa Claus finally hooked me up.
So you've gone through 3 full camps. Back to back.
2. 3. This is the third.
Is your third.
Okay, supposed to fight in August, that fell through. Supposed to fight in October, that fell through. And then finally, man, I pray for my opponent every day. Hopefully he makes it to the fight. Healthy, unhealthy, doesn't matter.
Just show up.
No, it doesn't matter. Hopefully he's a little unhealthy.
Preferably unhealthy.
For you to show up with the flu, but just be there.
But in all seriousness, because it's fight camp, I know it's difficult. Like, you know, you gotta fight. Like making it through fight camp is a battle in itself. So hoping him health, so he shows up. And
I can tell you that this guy isn't a guy that pulls out of fights for illegitimate reasons. You know what I mean?
He doesn't seem like that.
He's a guy that fights. He shows up to fight. We fought as an amateur for people that don't know, and I remember looking at his record back then. He fought the top dudes, and he kind of lost to some of them, and then but just kept coming back and fighting top dudes.
He's
like,
4-1 now.
Not scared, you know.
Mexican, you know. When you fight a Mexican fighter, you gotta expect guts, durability, a lot of heart, decent boxing,
good conditioning usually.
Right. So I'm expecting a war.
I think this guy's conditioning is a little questionable.
Oh yeah.
Well, in my mind, I'm fighting fucking Diego Sanchez. You know, I need that because if I don't think of it like that, then I tend to underestimate people. So to keep myself humble, to keep myself on track, I imagine that this is prime Diego Sanchez. It might be a little racist, but that's what I'm doing, you know. And I'm expecting a war, and I want a war. I want a war like you had. I want to be tested so I could show everybody what I'm capable of, what I'm truly capable of. You know, like last fight, I had an excellent outing up until the last 2 minutes of the fight. The scramble, one fuck up, got choked. You know? So, this stays with you for a little bit. That's why I'm so anxious to fight. You want to get a W, you get in the winning column, and forget about that real quick. So it motivates you to challenge your inner cycle. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. He's.
Go ahead, sir.
No, it wasn't that part.
I expect to be. Honestly, I believe my striking is better, way better. I expect my wrestling is better, and my ground pound is definitely better.
Yeah, your cardio is. I think you're better all around.
It's very I think I just gotta show up and show what I'm capable of. That's it. Very simple. And honestly, I haven't been overthinking it. I watched this fight a little bit with Dober, a little bit with Capel. You watched it, you know, and
what did Dober think about it? Oh, actually, we'll talk about that off. You don't give away your game and whatnot.
And when I was watching, I was watching with this, watching him and talking. I'm not worried about him too much. I'm worried about what I need to execute. Focusing on my opponent too much is, It's useless because the fight, you know, there's some tendencies that other eyes can pick up better. You know, like you've picked up a bunch of tendencies for me. You've already fought them. Like, so there's no need for me to do it, like to overthink about this fight.
Yeah, focus on what you can control.
Yeah.
Don't worry too much about what
I'm gonna focus on what I'm gonna do.
Exactly.
Very simple.
It's so hard to. I've had so many fights where I looked at a guy on tape and been like, nah, he's not very good at this.
Yeah.
And he was, you know.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of other fights like, man, this guy's good, and then I
he's
just
not that
crushed
good.
him.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it is. I wouldn't say it's not a waste of time, but it's not the most productive thing to be like to watch him and say this is what he's going to do. Just watch him or have someone else watch him. And be like, this is what I need to do.
When somebody else is watching, they could be more objective.
Yeah.
When you're watching it, you're there's more emotional charge there, so you can't
100%.
you can't be as objective watching it. So that's why I trust people close to me to watch the fight, give me advice.
Yeah.
That's it. And I mean, I watch it, like I glance and see what tendencies I could get, but I don't give them the respect of looking at give them 100% close attention.
Yeah.
Like I'm glancing, like they were talking, we're noticing some things, okay. And then I took it in, and I said, I'm not gonna think about that. I'm gonna think of what I need to do based on what I saw.
Yeah. What I do is I go through, I look at I get all of his fights that are available, and then put them together. I go through, I'll do it like in the hot tub or something, because I find that it's relaxing instead of, it takes away a little bit of that emotional charge. And I'll watch all his fights once. I pay attention, but I watch them all through one time, and as I'm watching it, I'm writing down his tendencies. And then
that's a good way to stay objective, writing stuff down.
Yeah. And then after that, I take a look at this list of tendencies, and I say, okay, what am I good at that defeats these tendencies? Or what am I good at that can take him away? Because I don't like to do it like that. It's like what I think is a mistake is saying like, okay, he's really good at guillotines, so I'm gonna drill guillotine defenses.
Yeah.
No, like he's really good at guillotine, so I'm never gonna be in that area to even let him attempt the guillotine. You know what I mean? So like, what am I good at? Like, so you use the example of a guillotine, right? This guy's good at guillotines. Well, I'm also good at shooting with my head in the center, my head in his chest. So that's what I'm going to apply in this fight.
You're attacking his attack.
Yeah. I'm attacking attacks. I'm attacking where he doesn't have his options. I'm making him go from his A game to his B game, right? And so like, I look at his tendencies, what he's good at, and then I take a second list of like what I'm good at that is going to take him away from his strengths, and then I throw his list of strengths away, and I don't look at that shit ever again. And then I'm just like, okay, these are my strengths that are going to be very helpful in these fights, and this is what my focus is, not his list, right? That's in the
watch and learn, folks. That's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. Next time I'll do that. That sounds like actually the best way of doing it.
But you know what you were talking about, it's funny, I forgot who it was, but there was a UFC fighter I was watching an interview before he fought. It was like a week before, and they were asking him questions and stuff, and when it came up to like watching tape on another person, the guy's like, I don't worry about watching tape. I give my coaches all the tape, they can watch it and they'll tell me what to do, and that way I don't focus on what he's doing.
I think Kane last. Was it Kane? Maybe, because I remember hearing that from Kane, and like, oh, this fits me just right. And I'm like, this fool's a champion. Not a fool, this dude's a champion.
All respects to Kane.
I'm sorry.
He knows what he's talking about. It's already true, like tried and true.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
And,
that's a great way to do it.
Staying with Green for 3 weeks. Same thing with him. He that's the way he watched the tape on his opponent. Like, glancingly, like kind of, and he told me, if you notice a couple things, let me know. That's it. He was just so focused on what he was gonna do. He was focusing on getting his game better. Yeah.
You know what? It's like it's a thing that's like.
And it's different for everybody. You got to find the method that fits you. Maybe both of them work for you, but one is more optimal.
Yeah.
Always just gonna cut.
Yeah. And you know what? It's like I think that the reason why people get so obsessed with like what this other guy's gonna do is because what's scary about anything is what you don't know.
Unknown,
right?
yeah.
So like,
The fear of
you
unknown.
want to be able to look at this guy and be like, he's going to do this, and therefore I'm going to do this, so that you can take away the unknown of the fight, right? But
And the other end of the spectrum,
No.
the other end of the spectrum is I don't give a fuck what he's gonna do. I know I will adjust anyway. So that's like, I'm not saying one is right or wrong.
Yeah.
There's just like the two philosophies.
yeah,
almost.
well, I think it needs to be more that way, more on that side, because it's like, it's not so much like, look, like I don't. The fact is, you don't know what he's gonna do. He could do all these things in this tape, and then he completely changed his game,
Yeah.
which I've definitely had happen before.
Right.
You know, 2 fights ago, I fought this dude that like wanted to be like Dominic Cruz, and when I came out there to pressure him, and he just like ran at me. I went, oh shit, okay, but like it's okay, because that's the reason why we've had thousands of rounds of sparring, right? Because like we know we've sparred with all these different people that fight in all these different styles, so it's like, I know how to adjust, right? Like it's not like you don't need to take away the
have more
unknown.
confidence in your ability to adjust.
Yeah. He may not fight this way, but 99% chance he's gonna fight like somebody that I've seen sparred before. You know what I mean? And I know how to adjust to these things. I think that's like at least where I'm gonna improve.
It's your flexibility, I feel like, your mental flexibility.
Mental flexibility. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
basically, see
Yeah,
what
that's
he
a good
does
point.
and use it kind of like so you can meet dance.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not a little bit of both. No, so actually, I'm gonna say no. So that's not what I mean. I'm gonna lead the dance regardless. I don't care what he's doing.
Exactly,
Right?
yeah.
And if whatever he does, I don't need to necessarily see it and consciously think he's doing this and I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Whatever he's done, I've done so much training in my lifetime. Whatever he's gonna do, I've seen it,
Yeah.
and I know how to react. I don't have to go like he's doing this, so I'm gonna react to it.
Yeah.
Like I'm leading the dance, and whatever he's gonna throw at me, I've seen that shit before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, there are obviously a few guys in the world that are, you know, I'll probably never sparred someone that fights like Israel Adesanya. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are a few guys that are exceptions to that rule, but yeah,
Most people
99%.
can be emulated.
Most people, yeah. In fact,
Not
most
even
people are
emulating.
emulating others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
so yeah.
So what you're saying is you're not gonna study the tape and then like depend on him doing something so you can counter it. You're just gonna kind of like understand what he does and then apply your game plan throughout the fight.
Yeah. I'm focused. Like, yeah. So, I think there's 2 different aspects. Like, it's like I'm gonna take my game plan from the tape, and then, but I'm not gonna like live or die by that. You know what I mean? Like, these are the things I'm working on in camp. They're in there. I've been drilling them. They're in the back of my head. I'm gonna go out there and do me, and those things are gonna come out. And then also, whatever he's gonna do now, like I know how to react to it. You know?
Yeah.
How far do you think we're in right now?
About half hour.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna think. Should we talk about the UFC fights real fast? Just
Yeah,
take
yeah.
10 minutes and then
We
we'll get
can.
out of here.
So I can't. Ryan Ortega took around 250 significant strikes.
I thought it was
that
in the
night.
I think it was in the 300s. That's what I saw.
Or 287, something like that.
It was the most significant strikes ever taken.
In my whole career, I have not taken as many.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and what heart and durability.
Oh yeah.
You know, this again, proving my Mexican example, right?
Yeah.
Hey, if you can lose and gain fans, then
You're doing something
did it.
right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Holloway, with his cardio and just relentlessness, and he said, "This is the round I'm going to finish."
Yeah.
To Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Didn't Joe Rogan say he did that in his last fight, or he's done that before, where he's like gone to Joe Rogan and been like, "This is the one."
Yeah.
Yeah.
then he's creating self-fulfilling prophecy then when he does that.
Yeah, I think also he can feel it too. Like he's going. You know what I mean? He's ready to go.
Yeah.
He also didn't finish him that round. He just wasn't allowed to continue. You know what I mean? That's a little different.
Which I mean,
I feel like his corners, like, I'm sure everybody, he said he was happy with that.
Yeah,
Stoppage.
It was good stoppage.
Yeah, it was a good
It should. Yeah, like he
would've
wasn't
only
coming
gotten
back.
worse.
Yeah.
it wouldn't have gotten better.
Yeah.
It was honestly, they could have even stopped it earlier, but there was a good stoppage. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this beforehand, the fact that like we were talking about that fight. But I think I would
pause and then the cough.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry.
Good?
Yeah.
Alright. No, we talked about it beforehand because we were talking back and forth about, you know, who we thought was going to win and how. And yeah, Holloway, the fact that he like picks up that pace throughout the fight, like towards the end of the fight, he was just throwing and throwing and throwing and throwing.
Yeah.
And just didn't stop, didn't give Ortega a chance to breathe.
That pace was incredible. I don't know. I've never seen. When have you seen that pace? I mean, I've seen, like, it's rare that you see exchanges like that, crisp exchanges happening.
Nate Diaz has that pace, Nick Diaz, but
Holloway's more powerful.
He's more powerful, and he's just so much better.
Crisper, yeah.
You know,
Crisper.
yeah.
Nate has a better reach, though.
Yeah.
Nate makes his reach work better.
Ortega's Holloway's got a long ass reach.
Holloway and Ortega have the same reach going into the fight.
Yeah, what was it?
Well, Ortega's
69.
huge though.
Ortega's shorter than Holloway.
It's 69.
But I mean, he's
69 and a half.
only a 69-inch reach.
Yeah.
You guys keep talking. I'll double check this so I'm not spreading this.
Well, that's
I'm pretty
why
sure they
he
had
looks long as hell, man.
He does. He looks bigger. I thought he was bigger, and then when they squared up next to each other, I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. I mean,
It wasn't a huge difference in height and everything, but I honestly thought
69.
Ortega was bigger, like taller.
Brian Ortega, 69.
69? Yeah.
Ortega was taller.
No, I thought Ortega was taller until I saw them, you know, together, and I noticed that Max was actually a couple inches taller.
Jose Aldo, 70.
His
Conor McGregor, 74.
he's got a
he's got a-
I got
he got 72 and a half. The longer, I read something that there's some correlation of like your long arms in relation, your length of your arms in relation to your height.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the same. And then if you're above it, it's a plus.
Yeah, but it's also like it attributes to your like athleticism.
The more
know.
athletic you are, it sounds about right.
Yeah. Like if you have longer arms than your height, it's something to do with because like you can get more leverage with like everything you do, you swing your arms and there's leverage.
Elastic recoil? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know the term for it. I was watching something, I don't remember, but the example this person was using was jumping. It's like the more arm you have to swing, the more like force you get for jumping.
Yeah.
Same thing for like a run and like
I think that's what you're talking about. Elastic recoil, like the
Ladies
recoil
and
of your
gentlemen, that
body
sounds
swinging your body.
dead on.
That's why Deontay
That
Wilder is
explains
so
why I'm
powerful.
so athletic.
right. But yeah, there's a bunch of dudes like we all like spar with like that really long, skinny dude with no muscle that hits hard as shit. You know, because he just got
Long
leverage. Yeah. Well, you got muscle though. You know that like
74-inch reach.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's guys that don't look like they would hit hard. Like you look like you're athletic. There's guys that look like Max Holloway. Actually, that dude looks.
He looks
like
he has a name.
Professional video gamer. You know what I mean? Like. And,
He looks like a cross-country runner or something.
Yeah.
Like thin, but he has muscle on him, but it's all like it doesn't look
Soft
like explosive muscle. Yeah,
it
exactly.
looks like soft muscle.
Yeah. Yeah, the one thing that was really amazing, I think is always amazing about Ortega is like distance. I mean, Holloway is like his distance, you know? That's like what we saw him beat like Jose Aldo with. Like he would like tag him, move just out of the way and let Jose Aldo like explode back, and then he'd be like step an inch back in and go pop up. You know what I mean?
Very key.
He's really
distance.
Yeah, he's good at pulling people in. Throw a jab, they throw a counter, and then he comes back with a 1-2.
Yeah.
And then he'll come back with like 3 or 4 more punches.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They were saying that his what's it called? Like his, you know, in this last fight he was had. What was the issue that he got?
Concussion.
No. They said he had
Stroke-like
concussion-like symptoms, and then eventually said stroke-like symptoms.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were saying, like, actually, we were talking about this too, and you're like, he kind of still seems like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then,
no, he did.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, that's his baseline now.
Yeah.
For real, they probably accepted that as his baseline.
Maybe.
It's a little higher than what it was back then.
Yeah.
Like he looked like drugged up then.
Yeah.
But it's still like, you know, in his eyes it's like an absent look. You know, it's not 100% there.
Yeah.
But that's his best baseline. What are you gonna do? The man's a champion. What are you gonna take that away from him?
Yeah.
Like this is the path he chose. You know what I'm saying? And clearly he's winning.
Yeah.
So like it didn't affect his performance a bit.
Right. Yeah.
So like, what are you gonna argue with? You know, that's his body. It's up to him what he does with it.
Yeah. To an extent. Right. Like.
If he was losing, it'd be a completely different story.
Right,
but if the man is
I was
winning,
gonna use Chuck Liddell as
right? Yeah. If you're
Great
losing, if you're losing, you should not be allowed to fight.
Yeah.
Like if you get knocked out over and over again, like let's say you got knocked out 3 times in a row, pretty bad.
Yeah.
Just stop it. Like you should mandatorily retire it.
Yeah.
Because because your spirit is strong enough to keep going after that, like your body does not match that. Like somebody, it's kind of like it's a long-term example of the Brian Ortega thing. His spirit was so strong that he stayed on his feet the whole time, and he was willing to die in there, right?
Yeah.
But they stopped.
Choice.
Yeah, definitely not. That's why the doctor was there to stop him.
Which thank God he has, the doctors did that.
And I'm sure his corners didn't object, and I'm sure, I don't think he objected either, but like, there's no knock on him. He's willing to die in there, and that's all you can ask from him.
Yeah.
And it's up to the commission to do their job.
Yeah. It was a good fight, good card. The Joanna fight was good too. She got beat up.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. Shevchenko had beat her 3 times in Muay Thai.
Yeah.
So, and she's a better grappler.
Yeah.
So, like, what do people expect is going to happen?
That's what I
The
thought was
size
gonna make
showed
the
too.
The size,
Yeah.
I'd love. Never mind. I was gonna say I'd love to make warrior babies with Valentine.
Really?
Not like
Just for the purpose of offspring?
not the process, just for procreation.
Make the strongest warrior children.
That's alpha woman right there.
All right, let's wrap it up on that note.
Shout out Valentine.
All right, guys. So if you like the podcast, you can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Spotify and Spreaker. If you want to follow the show on social media, you can follow us at Quotes and Chokes on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow me at Nick Angeloni 155 on Instagram and Nick the Italian Stallion Angeloni on Facebook.
You can find me on Instagram at foxhound_18.
And if you're for those of you who are just in the audio, that's Angelo. You can follow him there.
And you can follow me at prime_time9999 on Instagram.
Nice, that's a root. All right, guys, thanks for listening. We will see you next week. Oh, by the way, we were gone for a while because Root was helping Alistair over in his camp, so we just couldn't make it work. But we should be back to a regular schedule, so check in next week, and we'll see you there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.